there is a lot more to graffiti and the culture
Oh, much more.
than just a
Much
group
more.
of lads getting smashed and doing illegal shit. Like, there is a lot of sentiment and art to it.
Well, it even goes back to just our basic instinct as humans to relate to our environment. So, you know, when you're talking about graffiti and graffito, the originality of the word itself, the origins of the word are Italian. Graffito, it means to mark on walls, you know, or mark. And people have been writing on shit since before the word even existed, you know, from the cave paintings.
The OG graphers, shout
The
out.
OG graphers, you know, like these dudes, I mean, you know, I'm probably going to get fucking blown up about this by, you know, making that association. There's some purists that are probably like, fucking full of shit. But the reality is there's a human desire to claim ownership and be remembered, you know. And this is where modern graffiti culture to me really started, was places where you had groups of, you know, at-risk youth and forgotten youth and
It started, to my knowledge, sorry for cutting in, the culture though it blew up in New York, in
Philadelphia, I would say more.
Philly.
Yeah, I would say the origins of what we understand graffiti today, a lot of New York dudes, you're going to get fucking mail about this, but Philly to me is really kind of where what we understand as graph now, you know, bubble letters, semi-filled ins, you know, these early fucking trains getting painted and stuff. Philly's just as important as New York, if not more so. So, you know, the whole tacky 183 fucking history, I think it was just convenient for them to represent it that way. So, you know, that's why New York's got such a mention. I mean, New York has a very developed train system. You had a lot of social problems in the 70s that created this desire to have people's names be remembered and celebrated. But, you know, the whole idea of it, it really is a culture born from the forgottenness of youth and the lack of ownership and the lack of access to the privileges that, you know, mainly white kids kind of have, you know. So it's a very social, it's socially philosophical fucking background to the reasons why it sort of started. Now, you know, have we moved away from that? Well, yeah, of course, you know, time's
Everything
fucking
progresses.
going on, everything progresses. But, you know, realistically, these sort of subcultures come out of more of a necessity than a fucking, you know, just an idea to be like, oh, I'm just going to go and damage some shit. I don't think it ever started like that. And, you know, obviously that's the result, but I don't think it was ever really thought out that, oh, we're doing something bad or necessarily destructive. I think it was more about the voice, the importance of individuality and the individual voice coming through to be represented and remembered. And, you know, don't forget about us. We're here. We did this. We came through here, you know. And then that turned into a conversation. So dudes would be like, oh, there's fucking, you know, homeboy there. There's, you know, my cousin's girlfriend, you know. So you had these little groups of people that were leaving love letters to each other kind of thing, you know. They, not love letters, but, you know, they were leaving little messages. And that meant that they were, you know, seen as being like, oh, I went to this place at this time and this place at this time. And you had this conversation that started that was non-verbal, you know.
Yeah.
You had a situation where people were communicating that wasn't, you know, the standard communication channels.
And obviously, when you start writing names on things and people start writing names over things, that's when problems start.
Well, look, I mean, you know, the whole, you know, the temporal nature of graffiti.
We were talking about it a bit off camera, how, like, there's certain aspects of graph that kind of you don't participate in and stuff, or you don't appreciate anymore, like the violence that can come along with that kind of lifestyle, because you only really paint legal walls. You strictly paint legal walls now.
Not strictly, but it's just like, I'm not, you know, the thing is, I got shit to do. You know what I mean? I've already got, you know, the constabulary aware of who I am. I've been through the system in that sense, and people will be like, "Oh, fucking your toy, you fucking, just not sticking it to the man and shit." I stick it to the man plenty of fucking ways. Like, I'm not interested in that sort of shit because to me, I don't think that collectively we can create a message and create change without kind of sticking together more. This exclusivity of this and this and this and this discussion, we're not building anything with that. We're just tearing each other down. It's just tall poppy syndrome. And I think that's very dangerous because we fucking started at zero. Like most kids that I know that are involved in this scene have a background pretty similar to me, very, single family parent, very poor, I was growing up in the 80s with just my mum, we were very broke. And sort of, I don't think you're elevating past holding yourself down when all you're doing is just douching on with fucking other cunts. Like, it's just pointless, to me. It's just, I don't know. And like the capping, it's stupid. Graffiti's temporal. It's just meant to be there for the time that it exists and not, like I've had fucking tons of pieces gone over in my time, capped, fucking drawn on, fucking legs and shit drawn on them, shit love letters written on there, like people like, hey, fucking, whatever, just stupid shit. And I'm kind of more amused about it than anything. It's like you're just giving me another spot to paint. Like I couldn't give a fuck if I got a photo, and I've lost hundreds of photos over the years of like either had flicks that I've done of pieces. Man, a lot of my legal pieces actually got lost in that way. But which is a hilarious story, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But getting back to this idea of ownership of space permanently. I just think that's a bit of a moot point, realistically. Like, that's the sort of same attitude that the business owner that's fucking shitty with you gives you. I own the building, you guys are little fucking pests, fuck off. It's like, you're just doing the same shit as they are. They're just reinforcing the exact same hierarchical fucking control that the system does. So you're part of the system then, and then it's like... Well,
you're just creating your own system.
Yeah. If some cunt caps your piece, go and fucking redo it.